author and poet, and she says, "When we cast our bread upon the waters, we can presume that someone downstream, whose face we will never know, will benefit from our action, as we are downstream for another who will profit from that grantor's gift." So, very appropriate quote by Maya Angelou to get us started today on talking about what it takes to exceed our expectations for ourselves and those expectations of those we serve and for one another. So, let's talk a little bit about excellence in management. Again, we had a reflection by Maya Angelou. And the purpose of this program is really meant to help all of us as individuals stay a student in life and a student in our professional career. And the program will consist of 4 required development opportunities that will be made available to all CHS, CHI National Home Care Management, and then 8 optional opportunities for all associates. And it's our hope that by committing to this program and the other development opportunities that are available to our management and all associates, that we'll be encouraged to lead by example and therefore really truly impact the greatest organizational change. So development really does come from staying a student in life and in work. So what is excellence in management? What is this program and why is it beneficial to you, our associates? And this development program was designed to provide all of our associates, regardless of their level within the organization, the opportunity to strengthen their skill sets and further improve their contributions to the organization. And we really hope that we can share with you the whys behind this program and how it was crafted in our minds just for you and for your personal and professional growth. So again, talking about what is excellence in management, we in true form of the organization have defined excellence in management based on our 5 pillars of success. So you're very familiar, I'm sure, with our people, quality service, stewardship, and growth pillars and how they drive our organizational goals and objectives. And our CEO Council defined leadership and management traits that embody the important aspects that our current and future leadership should and do exemplify for our organization. So when we think about the people pillar and what people means in excellence in management, they defined it as an effective communicator, a servant leader, meaning we're putting others first, being influential. For our quality and service pillars, it's integrity, commitment, and being accountable. For our stewardship pillars, being process and policy oriented, having a solid business acumen, and being fiscally responsible. And for our growth pillars, being a visionary, having courage, taking risks, and being passionate. And a full overview of these definitions, so if you want to understand exactly what servant leadership means to a CHS, CHI National Home Care Manager or leader, feel free to visit the intranet. There's under the Talent Development tab, there is a section on excellence in management, and all of these traits have been defined for you to give you more information on what it means to grow and strengthen these skill sets. So let's take a brief moment to talk a little bit about the program and how it was developed. As we mentioned, there are 4 mandatory development opportunities for all CHS, CHI National Home Care Managers. So if you supervise someone, it will be your responsibility to partake in this program, and those opportunities are in August, November, March, and June, and they will be held in a variety of different ways, in-person trainings, webcasts, one-on-one meetings, as well as online programs. We surveyed our current management last fall and asked what you wanted to receive from a management program, and you said you wanted diversity. You wanted to see these programs and this information delivered to you in a variety of different ways. You just didn't want it online, and you just didn't want it within an in-person setting. So we gave you that variety, and then you wanted time to complete it. So there's only 4 required opportunities throughout the year, giving you 1 a quarter, and then having 30 days to complete those online trainings. So we hopefully accommodated all of your requests in timing and structure, as well as the variety that you were looking for. The other thing that you asked for were opportunities for your associates. And so we then created optional opportunities for your associates, which we'll talk about in just 1 second. So recapping the required opportunities in August will be an in-person session at Leadership Summit, or for those of you who are unable to attend leadership, there will be a follow-up webcast for you as well. In November, it'll be a required online learning. March, it'll be a one-on-one behavioral assessment where you'll be able to set some personal and development goals. And then in May, a final online learning opportunity. So those are the required opportunities for all management. And then our optional opportunities, again by a lot of management request, are 8 courses through those remaining months that are going to be available for all associates, including managers, who want to build on the messaging that we are providing throughout the Excellence in Management program. So these 8 optional opportunities start this month with this webcast and pick up again in September for all associates. And they will be 8 months out of the year. We'll hold them hopefully during a good time at lunch where you can either step away from your desk and participate with other coworkers, or be able to watch while you're working, or making this a little more accommodating so it's not so disruptive to your work day. We will continue to put the registration links within the weekly updates so you can register easily via the web. It'll be on the intranet, and we will continue to encourage branches and locations to set up conference rooms where you can attend together. For those of you who are attending, we will be sending an evaluation afterwards that we're asking to fill out so that we can report back to your management team on a quarterly basis, so that they can recognize and really acknowledge those associates that are taking an opportunity to participate in these optional opportunities. So make sure to fill out those evaluations. 1, we want your feedback, and 2, we want to make sure that you get credit for taking these extra steps to participate in your personal and professional development. So just a recap of what to expect, and again, all of this information is available to you on the company intranet page under the Talent Development tab. But if you want to mark your calendars ahead of time and be able to plan for these opportunities, all of the opportunities highlighted in black and bold are the mandatory opportunities for all management, and then the blue dates are the optional courses for all associates. So the next one to mark your calendars for all associates would be our September 25th webcast. And then you'll see an overview of the topics. Again, when we surveyed management last year, asking them what they thought that their associates or they themselves needed to further enhance their professional development, this is what was asked. And so we've built a curriculum that we think is really comprehensive based on the requests that were made by our management team. First and foremost, having an understanding of what associate engagement even means, and so we're going to talk about that today. And then the first mandatory course will cover the 5 steps to associate engagement, how to help create and maintain an engaged, interested, satisfied team for the organization. And then our second optional opportunity for all associates, we'll be talking about building trust as the foundation for growth and development, both fiscally with the organization as well as developmentally with its people. We're going to talk about attitude and how attitude can be a reflection of the quality of work that we do. All management will take a mandatory online course in conflict management and resolution that will be a nice follow-up to the all-associate optional webcast when we talk about effective communication, developing leadership skills, and giving feedback. So all of those things will be a nice tie into what management are learning about conflict management and resolution. And then we'll follow up with our one-on-one behavioral assessments for all management, where we'll help set some goals for growth for the future. And then we're going to move into some of our tactical skills in our final quarter, where we talk about delegation, organization, prioritizing your work, and how there are some strategies and some skills behind that. striking work-life balance, which I think will be important for everyone, as well as effective time management. So that'll kind of round out some of the communication and skill sets that we're going to share the first three quarters of the year, and providing those tactical skills at the end of the program. And it's just an important reminder and a quote that I just really love. We talk about leadership is a choice you make. It's not a place you sit. So we all, regardless of our level in the organization and whether or not we have direct reports, have an opportunity to lead and influence others. And so it's really important that we make the choice as associates to really truly commit to developing our ability to influence, manage, and lead others so that we can make an impact to the organization. And we do have the potential to lead and manage and guide others, our peers, our patients, our customers, as well as the individuals that report to us potentially. So keeping in mind, leadership is a choice, and we're really proud for those of you who have chosen today to start down that path of improving your leadership skills. So with that, we'll transition to our first topic for excellence in management and giving an introduction to associate engagement. And you probably, for those of you who have heard this term before, or maybe have heard it as part of management training or as a part of, a buzzword in the working world, think about what is associate engagement? What does that really mean? What does that mean to me as the employee, and what does that mean to the organization? And associate engagement truly is when you, the associate, feel an emotional connection towards your work, the organization, its goals, and it leads you to higher performance, higher level of commitment, and loyalty. So it really is a lot about how you feel about your work and what your output is based on those feelings. So when we think about associate engagement, it's about your job satisfaction being aligned to your job performance. It's not just job satisfaction. It's not just being happy in your work, but that those feelings, that happiness and that satisfaction lend you to a performance that's aligned. So an engaged associate has high satisfaction and high performance. Associate engagement is also when you're using your skill sets and your intellect to better the organization and meet its goals. So your contributions align with what the organization needs from you. It's also about aligning your attitude to what can I give versus what can I get. An engaged associate is concerned with the organization's objectives more than they're concerned with their own personal growth or objectives. So it's that nice balance between having those desires to give your personal skill sets and intellect to a bigger picture and a bigger cause. And it's also about putting discretionary effort into your work. And discretionary effort was a term that has become more known to me throughout my time at CHS, and it's been really fun to watch discretionary effort in the works. And what this really means is the extra effort you're willing to put in. In the shower, you have a brilliant idea about how to improve a process, or on your way home from work, you think about, I need to remind myself to do this for my patient, or it's that extra work that when you pull away from the job, your brain doesn't stop working. You're constantly thinking of ways to improve as you're folding laundry or you're sitting at your child's soccer game. It's that extra effort that you want to put into your work because you want to help improve the organization and move it forward. Overall, associate engagement is really about being productive, committed, and present with your work, your peers, your manager, your patients, and your customers. And that can feel like a tall order, but it's not about being perfect. It's not about having all of the answers or knowing the exact way to do things. It's about understanding how you fit into the big picture and being committed to that big picture. In the past, associate engagement was a lot about being happy and satisfied. If I have happy employees, I will have happy outcomes or better outcomes. And that's not necessarily the case. Happiness and satisfaction are definite measures to associate engagement, but they're not the full picture. it is when a happy and engaged or satisfied associate, their outcomes match. And so we're really looking to facilitate and encourage a holistic approach to associate engagement where someone's happiness and satisfaction matches the outcomes they give to the organization. So when we think about it, unhappy and unsatisfied associates can have a negative impact because they can still be productive, but that happiness or that satisfaction can have a negative production result. So it's really, really important for us to look at the whole picture. So let's talk about the impact of engagement, because a lot of times, especially when we think about, getting a job done and we've got a long list of projects to do and we're really, really busy and everyone's working really, really hard to move the organization forward, oftentimes we think about, this as the extra stuff or the fluff or the maybe not as important. But when we think about the impact of an engaged associate, there really is a bottom line positive impact. Research will show you time and time again that organizations with high levels of engagement, like 65% of the organization or greater, continue to outperform their competitors. Engaged associates are proven to provide better services to patients and customers, increase customer loyalty, increase profitability, decrease safety incidents, decreased absenteeism, and increased quality, among many, many others. So when we think about where we as associates, as people, can have the greatest impact to the organization, a lot of times it's in how well we are working with others, how well we are influencing others, how well we are leading others. Because it isn't the process or the task that gets the job done. It's the person using the process or the tasks. So we can't forget that in order to get a job done, we need to have people. And that it isn't just about a task or a responsibility that we're responsible for. It's the people we're responsible for in getting those tasks done. So associate engagement can be our opportunity as employees of CHS, CHI National Home Care, can be our opportunity to make the greatest impact on the organization, to help improve our bottom line because we are improving that of our associate engagement. So it's really, really important to acknowledge the positive impact an engaged workforce can have on the organization. And when we have engaged associates, happy, satisfied associates, guess what? We're going to have happy, satisfied patients. And that's ultimately our goal as an organization, to exceed those expectations of our patients and our customers. And to do that, we need to exceed those expectations of ourselves. So I want to show you a short video clip. It's a part of a larger video about finding your purpose at work. Engaged associates, those that are happy and satisfied and their outcomes match that satisfaction, oftentimes have a purpose, that driving thing that gets them out of bed every day. And so I just want to play a brief 30-second clip that talks a little bit about finding that purpose and what that means. Again, if you experience any technical difficulties with either hearing or seeing the video, no worries, we'll make it available to you after the session.
Here's the founder of Skype. He says, our goal is to be disruptive, but in the cause of making the world a better place. Pretty good purpose. Here's Steve Jobs. I want to put a ding in the universe. All right? That's the kind of thing that might get you up in the morning racing to go to work. So I think that that we are purpose maximizers, not only profit maximizers. I think the science shows that we care about mastery very, very deeply. And the science shows that we want to be self-directed. And I think that the big takeaway here is that if we start treating people like people and not assuming that they're simply horses, slower, smaller, better-smelling horses, if we get past this kind of ideology of carrots and sticks and look at the science, I think we can actually build organizations and work lives that make us better off, but I also think they have the promise to make our world just a little bit better.
So, basically that premise of the video is saying, if we can improve the experiences of our people, we can improve the experiences, make really a big impact on our patients, our customers, and really kind of make that little dent and that little chink in improving the community around us and the world around us. And that really looking at people as truly that, people, and not the means to accomplishing a task, can help do that and can make those, small changes that can have great ripple effects. So just a nice little perspective on what purpose means to associate engagement. So how do you get engaged? How do you, whether you are completely happy and satisfied and you love your job, but you want to take it up a notch? Or how do you help others get engaged? And what does it take to really take it to that next level? And it's really thinking, it's really that self-reflection, and it's the beginning of the journey. It's taking those first steps in your personal and professional development by showing things like discretionary effort. Don't turn your brain off when you walk out the door at 5 o'clock or you see your last patient. Display initiatives that are self-directed. Be enthusiastic. Attitude is everything. And work towards the organization's objectives. Do your individual objectives match that of the organization's? We think about our individual balanced scorecard goals. We think about our career development plan. Do those things match what the organization needs from you to move forward? And starting to think about all of those things is the very, very first step to beginning the journey of becoming a truly engaged associate. So let's talk about a couple keys to engagement. Very simple things and designed to really get our brains working and thinking about how do I become engaged, and really doing some self-reflection on, am I doing these things already, or can I improve them, or how can I encourage others to be engaging in these keys as well. So let's first talk about increasing communication. It's key, and it's key for every relationship we have in life, whether it's personal, professional, with our patients, our peers, our managers. Communication truly is a key to our engagement. And communication kind of leads right into the second point of asking questions. Are you leading with questions? Are you regularly soliciting feedback? Do you want to hear from others how you can improve and grow? And that all comes from asking questions and being open to hearing the feedback that you're given and using that as an opportunity to learn and grow. And by communicating and asking questions, you're also going to connect to the big picture. You're going to understand how you fit and your role fits into the big strategy of the organization, and how you become a very integral part in moving it forward. I love the thought of he who has a why to their work can tolerate almost any how. So are you communicating with your manager, your peers, to understand how you fit into the big picture? And if you don't understand, are you asking questions? Are you soliciting feedback? The third point is participating in learning and development opportunities, much like what you're doing today. But the vast majority of learning and development happens outside of the classroom. It's not the passing of information that's happening right now. It's the work that comes from the information. So are you committed to those development opportunities outside of these learning experiences? Are you willing to take that back to your desk or back to your patients and do the work to communicate, to ask questions, to learn, to solicit feedback? And the last thing is building relationships. It's getting to know people. When we're all business in an email, when we're all business in a phone call, when we walk right into a meeting and we're all business, we walk right into a patient's home and we're all business, we forget to get to know people. We forget to build those connections and that trust. So we really need to remind ourselves to take the time to treat other people just like they are, unique and valuable to the organization. And if we start to understand the other people around us, we're going to start to feel more engaged. So you need to ask yourself, do you really understand the why around you and the what of your day-to-day function and how you can learn and grow? And if you feel like, no, I don't feel like I quite know that to the best of my ability, then you need to head back to that first point and communicate and ask questions. And that's truly where engagement is going to start for all of us. So I have a little homework assignment for everyone. If you're really rooted and committed to improving associate engagement and the engagement you have with yourself, reflect on these few questions. Maybe write them down. As you're writing them down, ask yourself and be able to answer, did you, maybe yesterday or last week, feel empowered to accomplish the organization's objectives and contribute to its success? Can you answer that question as a yes, I did? And if you did, great. Keep moving forward. And if you're finding, maybe I didn't do that to the best of my ability, there's an opportunity for growth. As you write down and think about, did I work to improve communication with my managers and my peers? Maybe there's opportunities for growth for you there as well. I'm not communicating. I'm not sharing how I feel or what I need, or I'm not asking enough questions, or I'm not soliciting enough feedback. Think to yourself, did you take ownership of your responsibilities? Accountability is huge when it comes to growth and development. Are you taking ownership of the positive as well as the areas for growth? And if you think that there's an opportunity for you to grow here, that's wonderful. Did you recently have pride in your work? Avoid being so busy that you don't take an opportunity to celebrate your successes, to be proud of what you've accomplished. Don't forget to celebrate along the way. Ask yourself, did you take action to learn and grow? Did you take those development opportunities that presented to you throughout the work day or those experiences? And maybe there's some opportunities that you can, grab by the horns a little more in the future. And finally, did you thank somebody today? That getting to know people, the building relationships, the recognition that we give one another, that all helps further improve our engagement. Because guess what? What we put out in the world is what we get back. So make sure what you're putting out in the world is what you need to grow. So ask yourself these questions. If you haven't done so already, write them down. I'm going to ask that you use this for your homework for the next couple of, weeks. Maybe at the end of every week, reflect back on these questions and think about opportunities where you met these and where you could improve. And maybe even bring them to, one-on-one meetings or opportunities that you have with your management to talk about, this is what I'm noticing about my patterns and my behaviors, and here's my areas for growth, and solicit feedback. Help learn and grow by having some self-reflection and some self-awareness. And you'll find that these are really wonderful, easy opportunities to work on your level of engagement. And most likely, the quickest, most effective way for you to have an impact on the organization. So my request is that you take some time to reflect on these questions, and you do so whether it's daily at the end of every day or weekly, and then share those with those around you as a learning opportunity for your engagement. So we think about associate engagement. It really is the responsibility of every associate. Oftentimes in old school philosophies where, it's the organization's responsibility to help me be engaged. It's my manager's responsibility to help me be engaged. It's everyone else's responsibility but my own to make sure that I'm engaged. If I'm not happy and I'm not satisfied, it might be somebody else's fault. And honestly, that's not the case. It is very much the associate's responsibility to be engaged in the organization. It's very much a reciprocal relationships. And associates themselves and the attitudes and mindsets with which they choose to approach each day are the key elements in the engagement equation. And we've highlighted that word choose because that's the powerful motivator in all of this, is our choice. What we choose to bring to work every day, what we choose to focus on, how we choose to impact the organization. That's all on us. And so what do you choose to do? What are your choices for your professional and personal development? Because it's a two-way street. It, just like with effective communication, it requires our commitment. It requires a commitment of ourselves and a commitment from our management and the organization. It takes both of us in that equation. So it's asking yourself, are you willing to do your part to make the commitment to yourself, to our patients, to our customers and the people we serve, as well as the organization as a whole. And only you can determine your level of engagement. Only you can control how committed you are to growing and learning with the organization. So if you take away anything from this session today, start paying attention to your level of commitment and how much you can impact how you feel about work by paying attention to your contributions. So let's talk about some takeaways. Things to think about, really just simplifying the last 30 minutes together. Number 1, focus on communicating. Communication truly is a key to engagement, and how well we communicate isn't the message here. You don't have to be a perfect communicator, and I am a strong believer. It's not how you do it, it's that you do it. Ask your question, gain feedback, solicit feedback. Even if you fumble through it a little bit, you'll get better with practice and with time. So make sure you're communicating to those around you, to your peers, to your management, to the individuals in the organization that can help influence the environment around you. Make sure you're communicating with them and that you're asking questions and soliciting feedback. You want to hear what others have to say in order for you to grow. And that's where communication really truly is about how well we can listen, how well we can listen to others. It's not about how much we can talk. It's about how much we can gain from those around us who are talking to us. So those 2 points kind of go hand in hand. Communicate and be willing to ask questions. The third point, be willing to grow and develop. Take those opportunities for what they are, opportunities. Every mistake we make is an opportunity for us to grow and learn and avoid that in the future. So be willing to grow and develop. Be willing to learn from others. They probably have some wonderful insight that can help us be better and do more for the organization. So take opportunities like this. Take opportunities that might be offered through your branch manager or your department manager. There might be some wonderful opportunities available for you to grow and develop, not only in our personal skills, our communication skills, but also in our job-related skills. And really use those opportunities that are offered to us outside of the classroom to grow and develop as well. And the fourth point, build those relationships. Get to know the people around you. We are all valuable and unique to this organization, and the organization needs us all in order to continue to move forward. So when we start to value and cherish one another as unique and having an incredible contribution to the organization, we're all going to find that the environment we work in is that much more satisfying. It's happier, it's more fun, we enjoy doing the work to serve others. So building those relationships and paying attention to those people around you, because they aren't here to just do a task. They are so much more than that. So remember to slow down and be people first sometimes too. And the fifth and final point is practicing your daily self-reflections. Going back to those questions. Did I thank somebody today? Did I have pride in my work? Was I responsible? Did I meet the organization's goals and objectives? Asking those questions, whether it's daily or weekly, and being willing to share what you're learning about yourself with others will be a huge eye-opener to where you are at when it comes to your level of engagement. And as managers, encouraging your team members to do the same, helping them be aware of their commitment to the organization and how to move forward. So really kind of thinking about these 5 core concepts in your beginning journey of associate engagement. If you want more information about associate engagement, we just scratched the surface. We just gave you a 30,000-foot view of what it means to be an engaged associate and what it means to create an environment for engaged associates. It's the stepping stone, and right now, all of us need to just take one step at a time in the right direction to improving engagement for the organization. And so if you want to learn more about associate engagement, if you want to encourage your team members to focus on their level of engagement, we are here to help you, and we are here to support you. And I think this Excellence in Management program will be a great foundation for what we will all be able to do for the organization in increasing engagement. So this webcast will be archived. We'll have additional information available for managers to work with their teams and really build upon this for future sessions. Our next session, so make sure to mark your calendar, is on September 25th. And this is where we're going to take the next step, the next deep dive into our role in associate engagement. We're going to talk about building trust. And trust really can be the foundation for growth, development, and success for our associates, for each other. Many, many experts say that it's the most important aspect of a successful workplace, and it's the foundation to growth and development of engaged associates. So we look forward to taking this a step further in thinking about associate engagement. But we ask you to do the work first. Start your self-reflection. Start thinking about where you, as the associate, and you, potentially as a manager, fall within that foundation of building an engaged environment. And then next time when we see you in September, hopefully you'll be ready to take that next step in focusing on building trust. So as a reminder, this session was recorded. It will be posted on the intranet for more information, and we hope that this gives you some groundwork and some starting point in thinking about becoming a higher, more engaged associate and encouraging that around you. We want this to be fun and enjoyable process, and it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to take a ton of time. It can really be about those tiny little things that can make a big, huge impact. It's kind of like the pebble drop in the pond, where it has that wonderful ripple effect, and that's what we're asking you to do today. Commit to just that one little pebble, focusing on those 5 components from today and really seeing how you can move the organization forward just a little bit at a time. We appreciate your time and attention today. We're so excited to start this journey with each and every one of you, and we look forward to building an engaged and satisfying and wonderful work environment together. So thank you, everyone, and have a great day.